Indo-Canadian Association of Prince Edward Island would like to thank and welcome all of you to be part of the 75th Indian Independence Day celebration. On August 15, 1947, British India, a former colony of the empire, won its independence from British rule, which began through East India Company in 1757. Mahatma Gandhi, revered as the father of the nation, led a non-violent movement for India's freedom. The year 1947 also marks the start of diplomatic relations between India and Canada. In Canada, India is represented by the High Commission of India in Ottawa and the Consulate General of India in Toronto and Vancouver. In India, Canada is represented by the Canadian High Commission in New Delhi, the Consulate General of Canada in Bangalore, Chandigarh, and Mumbai, and a consulate in Kolkata. An interesting fact is that during World War II, over 2.5 million men from India served in the world's largest volunteer British Army, and at least 38 Indians received the Victoria Cross or the George Cross for their bravery and valiant efforts in defeating the fascist forces. Like Canada, India remains one of the most ethnically diverse countries in the world. Apart from its many religions and sects, India is home to innumerable castes, tribes, and hundreds of minor linguistic groups. India is also home to more than 22 regional languages from several language families unrelated to one another. Canada is home to over 1 million people of Indian origin. India is also known as the world's largest democracy. The colors of the Indian national flag are significant. The top band is saffron, indicating the strength and courage of the country. The white band indicates peace and truth. The navy blue wheel, or chakra as it's called in Hindi, symbolizes 24 spokes of Buddhist philosophy, representing dharma or righteousness. This wheel was adapted from the official symbol of Emperor Ashoka, who ruled India around 200 BC, and he embraced Buddhism after the Battle of Kalinga. The last band is green, to symbolize fertility, growth, and auspiciousness of the land. And as a member of Indo-Canadian community, we are proud to live in Canada. Canada, too, is a land that values and celebrates unity, strength, and diversity. Now I would like to invite Mr. Tony, President of ICA, to welcome all present.
Thank you, Ridhima. Good morning, everyone. Honorable MP of Charlottetown, Mr. Sean Casey, respected Mayor, Mr. Philip Brown, Dr. Umesh Gupta ji, and my dear Indo-Canadian Association friends and members. It's an absolute honor for me to stand here today and welcome you all to celebration of our 75th Independence Day. India attained the independence on this day in the year of 1947, and we celebrate Independence Day every year on 15th August. This year, India will mark its 75th anniversary of Independence Day. On this day, we acknowledge the sacrifice of our freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and all millions of others whose names are not known even. We are highly grateful to our chief guest, for giving their valuable time for us and celebrating this auspicious day in us with Charlottetown home away. On this day, the special and joyous occasion of 75th Independence Day of India, I extend my warm greetings and best wishes to you and your families and our many friends and well-wishers in the friendly place of PEI. Dear friends, 75th anniversary is an occasion to remember and pay homage to our national heroes who made to bring sacrifice in our struggle for freedom. It is also an occasion to celebrate the success of our nation of friends, our emergence as the largest democracy in the world, our successful transformation as a major fast-growing economy over the decades. Our scientific achievement is many fields and also in a tremendous advancement that made in the medical field. Unity and diversity is our strength. In India, we do speak different languages, we worship different gods, we eat different food, we wear in different coats, but there is a feeling of oneness and common consciousness that keeps us together, makes us proud of our nation, India. I'm welcoming all in the name of Indo-Canadian Association and to all invited guests, our senior members, and all members of ICA to this auspicious moment of India's 75th Independence Day celebration in PEI. Jai Hind.
President of Indo-Canadian Association. I feel privileged to welcome you guys on the celebration of Indian Independence Day. For the flag hosting, I request the Executive Board members Tony C. Joy, Selvi Roy, Amita Sirohi, Aniruddha Maratha, Solomon Kopala, last but not least Vinay Upetra, who is a veteran commander of Indian Navy. And I also request Dr. Gupta ji and Dr. Shetty, Dr. Chezi to join us to hoist the flag. Please. Thank you.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I'm profusely elated to take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest with respect, Honorable Mr. Sean Kersey, Member of Parliament of Charlottetown. He was first, thank you sir for being here. He was first elected to this office on May 2nd, 2011 and re-elected again in 2015 and 2019. Earlier in 2008, he was appointed as Queen's Counsel. And from 2009 to 2010, he served as the President of the Greater Charlottetown Area Chamber of Commerce. In Parliament, Mr. Sean has served most recently as the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Fisheries, Oceans and the Canadian Coast Guard. He has previously served as the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada, as well as the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Canadian Heritage. He is currently the Chair of the Standing Committee on Human Resources, Skills and Social Development and the Status of the Persons with Disabilities. He is also a member of the Standing Committee on Veterans Affairs and Chair of the Liberal Atlantic Caucus. Mr. Sean Kersey has always been active in his community and has held numerous volunteer roles promoting leadership in the community by being a classic example. Before becoming an MP, he volunteered with the youth, encouraging them in sports, especially soccer and hockey. In his role as MP, he actively promotes youth leadership and engagement of the community in matters of importance. On behalf of the Indo-Canadian Association, I request our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Sean Kersey, to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for that very generous introduction. Your Worship, Mayor Brown, Indo Canadian Association Society President, Tony Joy, members of the Indo-Canadian community. First of all, thank you so much for your kind invitation for me to be here and to offer to you, on behalf of the Government of Canada, a genuine Happy Independence Day. I wish to begin by acknowledging that the lands in which we gather are the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people, Abiguit. They are the past, present, and future caretakers of these lands. I noted in the introduction that was provided that India has a rich history of diversity and numerous Indigenous communities. It's the Indigenous communities in Canada to which we pay respects each time we gather in public. But it's also diversity that really defines our country as well as yours. Our Prime Minister is very fond of saying that Canada is stronger, Canada is stronger because of its differences, not in spite of them. And diversity is, in fact, our strength. Here on India Independence Day, we celebrate Indian culture, we celebrate your history, and certainly in Canada we celebrate the wonderful relationship we have with the country of India, and most importantly with the population of Indian descent who have chosen to make their lives here in Canada. And to each and every one of you who have made outstanding contributions and to continue to make outstanding contributions in all walks of life, thank you for choosing Canada. Thank you for choosing Prince Edward Island. Our countries share much in common. As we heard, India is the largest democracy in the world. We share our belief in democracy. We share our diversity. We share our respect for human rights. These are all essential values on which our respective countries are built. I consider myself to be extremely fortunate to live in Canada. I consider myself to be extremely fortunate to be in such a diverse country, and in one in which democracy and diversity are actively promoted. And you know, it's It's probably not much of a secret to anyone, but later today you will probably hear that we're going to be launched into the ultimate exercise in democracy, a general election. And it appears that that general election is going to be on September the 20th. And this is the time for us really to put on display what matters to all of us. Inclusion, diversity, respect for human rights and the rule of law. It's my hope that you will actively examine the platforms of each of the parties, and that you will choose wisely as to what is in the best interest of this country. That is, in fact, one of the rights that we have earned as people who live in democratic countries, and I do hope that you will take it seriously. To one and all, happy Independence Day. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your celebration.
In general municipal elections as the 46th mayor of Charlottetown. Honorable Mr. Philip Brown, Mayor City of Charlottetown, is an educator of minds and leader. For close to 3 decades, Mayor Brown taught in classroom settings and continues to educate your minds and the community beyond the school walls. Mr. Mayor Philip Brown has volunteered on many boards and committees through the years, including the Charlottetown Minor Hockey Association, UPEI Board of Governors, and the Charlottetown Legion Executive. He served 2 terms of the Charlottetown City Council from 2001 to 2006. One of the highlights during his term as councillor was the development and construction of Bell Alien Center. On behalf of Indo-Canadian Association, I request our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Philip Brown, Mayor of Charlottetown, to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
I don't know if we've attracted all the fire engines and all the commotion, but it's really adding to the festivities here today. Sean Casey, MP for Charlottetown, Tony, and the MC here today for your great presence. It's a wonderful day for me to be here as Mayor of Charlottetown and representing the Birthplace Confederation. And it is my pleasure to be part of the 75th Independence Day celebration here next to City Hall. It means so much to me that I can be here and celebrate 3/4 of a century of Indian independence with you all today. This is such a warm and welcoming community, and it is so wonderful to see this vibrant and thriving group in Charlottetown celebrating a day with so much significance. I recognize the importance of this day and the significance of raising this flag. On August 15th, 1947, India's first Prime Minister raised the Indian national flag to commemorate India's independence. And as you know, our independence as a former British colony came in 1867, July 1st, 1867. But the actual meetings that led us to July 1st, 1867 started right in this city with the Charlottetown Conference back in September of 1864. So it's an honor for me to be here raising a flag that shows and respects your independence and to respect our independence as 2 great nations that enjoy being partners from a former British Empire. It is a tradition that has been followed since then, and it is also intended to recognize the long struggle of those who fought so hard for India's independence decades ago. And I was told by the flag raiser that the flag has a statute of limitation of 1 day, I believe, it has to come down this evening before 6 o'clock. So our tradition is leave it up as long as you want, but if that's your tradition, we'll be back here at 6 o'clock to bring it down. So times of celebration are essential to renew the bonds that tie us all together across cultures and are crucial to our well-being and prosperity as a community, especially this year as we are currently going through a cautious reopening after more than a year of pandemic restrictions. And I know I would be shared by our MP. I want to thank the great efforts of the Indian community for your frontline service through this whole pandemic as drivers, as workers at the convenience stores, grocery stores, delivering food. Your efforts did not go unnoticed, and I want to thank you for your efforts, and I think it requires or deserves a big applause. As you know, we're all always willing to and very forceful talking about our frontline workers as doctors, nurses, and so forth. But your work has kept this community going and kept the chain of supplies moving throughout the community from other provinces and within our own community. So again, thank you. Charlottetown is enlivened and made richer because of the presence and contributions of the Indo community, Indo-Canadian community. And I want to echo what the MP said. Canada is a very multicultural country, and the multiculturalism is made up of diversity, inclusion. And today is just another example of us coming together, not because of our color, not because of our religion, just because we're humans and that we're very proud to be with each other. So thank you for being here for this celebration. So I hope you all make the most of the festivities today and immerse yourselves in the spirit of pride and celebration of your identity and culture. Again, a sincere thank you to Tony and his team, the Indo-Canadian Association of Prince Edward Island, MP Sean Casey, and all of you here today for listening and having me speak at this event. Stay safe, be smart, stay apart. Merci beaucoup.
Soil fertility and plant nutrition. Once an islander, always an islander. Dr. Gupta says it is friendliness of the people who lived here and the quiet calm of PEI that welcomed him and his family and helped them feel at home. We request Dr. Gupta ji to give his valuable speech to the gathering. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gupta ji.
Thank you very much, Vice President Vikram, for your kind remarks. Honorable Sean Casey, Member of Parliament for Hillsborough, His Worship Philip Brown, Mayor of the City of Charlottetown, Indo-Canadian Association of President Tony, and Vice President Vikram, fellow Islanders and Canadians. It's really a great honor and pleasure for me to speak to you today on India's Independence Day. It was 74 years ago today, on August 15, 1947, that India became an independent nation. I think probably more than 95% of you were not even born that day. At that time, I was a elementary school somewhere in north central India. Now, since everybody is speaking on the same topic, there may be some duplication of effort, and for which I want you to let you know. India's Independence Day is a national holiday which marks the end of British rule and the establishment of a free, independent Indian nation. It is the anniversary of the partition of the subcontinent into two countries, India and Pakistan. The Indian independence movement was led by the late Mahatma Gandhi, who advocated a peaceful and non-violent end of the British rule. This day is marked throughout India with flag-raising ceremonies, singing of the national anthem, Indian national anthem, and cultural programs, same as had been organized here for this afternoon or this morning, and you will witness that a little bit later. The Prime Minister on this day participates in the Flag Indian raising ceremony at the Red Fort, which is a historic monument in New Delhi, followed by a parade with the armed forces and police. The Prime Minister then delivers a televised address to the nation, recounting the major accomplishment of India during the previous year and outlining future challenges and goals. On August 15, 1947, the first Prime Minister of India, the late Jawaharlal Nehru, raised the Indian flag at the Red Fort in Delhi. Each year, a special guest is invited for the occasion. This year, the current Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has invited India's strong 228-member 2020 Tokyo Olympics contingents at the Red Fort. All participants will also meet the Prime Minister at his residence. Incidentally, India won 7 medals at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Now I want to share with you my personal experience, because I was one of the few who was alive on that day, on August 15, 1947. So personally, it is an unforgettable day for me, as I have vivid memories of that day. That morning, when I woke up, it was a day full of pride and freedom, not only for me, but for all of India. Although the schools were closed that day, but we were asked to go to our school to participate in singing India's national anthem, and all students received a packet of snacks similar to what you will receive sometimes today here. The highlight of the day for me came in the evening to hear the live broadcast by Nehru, the first Prime Minister of Free India. In the 1940s, there was no television and not everyone had a radio. Even in Canada, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, or CBC in short, introduced its service in 1952. In the 1940s, radio was the only means for nationally broadcast news in India. One of my neighbors, I recall very carefully, had a radio, who brought it on the front porch, so the 50 to 60 people gathered outside his home could hear the live broadcast. Finally, the most unfortunate part of the partition was the communal rights based on religion basis, which broke out on both sides of the border, and an estimated 500,000 to 1 million people lost their lives, and another 10 to 50,000 million people were displaced. We are now 74 years later, and we can look back on the history with a large amount of pride and joy, and enjoy the pomp and ceremony of this occasion. I think so far you have seen it has been a wonderful day with the excellent celebration in many ways, and we are not done yet. So at this time, I would personally like to thank all the members of the executive of Indo-Canadian Association and all those people who may have any role or function in organizing this. Please stand up wherever you are or raise your hand so we can recognize, and I want all the audience here to show us an appreciation with a wonderful round of applause. Well, thank you everybody for your kind attention, and a happy Independence Day, everyone.
Congratulations and thank you. You guys did a great job.
Danush Nellore. Lahari Bandi. Mehaka Vikas. Sukriti Alchuru. Shruti Bandi. Sarvesh Dhanashekar. Joyce Prardhana. And Victoria Nellore.
Great job. The choir looked great. You sounded great.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, my pleasure.
Now, to distribute the certificates to volunteers, I request Mr. Philip Brown, Mayor of Charlottetown, to distribute the certificates. Yeah, sure. Aditya Reddy, he helped us in contributing from his side in recording. Dhanashekar. Parminder Sangha. Noel Taletoti. Parth Mehta. Parth Mehta. Stephen Joel. Thank you for the camera and the drone, Steven. Rakesh Raul. Kiran. Sunny Jagasiya. Siddharth Akula. And our lovely MC Ridhima.
Good job.
Thank you, Ridhima. Good job. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I thank all the volunteers. You have done a great job. Thank you, guys. And now I request Tony C. Joy, President. Samhita Dhanashekar for classical dance. Hasita Nandikonda for classical dance. They're somewhere, I think. Victoria Nellore for drums. Thank you very much, Tony. So for Indian National Anthem, I just want to call each certificate I want to get distributed by single persons, because I just want to invite all the elders here. And I first request Dr. Gupta ji to hand over a certificate to Iharika Adhikari. Thank you for Indian National Anthem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Upreta ji. Yeah. Milind Bhakta. Dr. Shetty here. Dr. Shetty. Dr. Chesi here. Mr. Solomon. Nishant Pawar. Thank you.
Okay.
Anirudh. He's gone. Okay. Well, Vinay, I request you to come here. David Alexander Adams. Dr. Shetty, may I invite you here? You're not in the site actually, I was calling for you. Raga Sudha Ingilela. Manoj Kumar. This for Indian National Anthem. Mrs. Tony C. Joy. Our First Lady here. Right? Avinash S. Gopalan. Avinash S. Gopalan. Thank you very much. I can take from you actually. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
It's done, right?
It's done, and I was thinking of something to call. Shardanti, do you mind walking here? Don't mind? Sorry, I addressed you as auntie as usual. Rajinish Nangia. Thank you very much. I thank each and every volunteer here and the competitors, and also the way that you have contributed is outstanding, and you've done a great job, guys, and thanks for that. And whenever I call, you guys are very open to contribute from yourself and give your support to us. Thank you very much for that. And thank you. I'll hand over to Ridhima. Danish Nellore for guitar and song. Hasita Nandikonda for classical dance. Victoria Nellore for classical dance and for music, drums. Thank you, Amitaji.
me. Thank you. Now over to Mr. Vicky. Yeah.
I think we had a wonderful day today, and we could really see a lot of josh, as you call it in Hindi, and enthusiasm. We could see the future Islanders. They have done us proud by putting such a fantastic performance. Please round of applause for them. I think they were the showstoppers here. Excellent. I think the whole credit for this event goes to the young, bright Islanders who are the future of this place. On the formal note, I would like to thank Mr. Sean Casey, a Member of Parliament, to support ICA in this endeavour and be the chief guest for this occasion. I want to thank Mr. Philip Brown, Mayor of Charlottetown. I think he has been, I would say, a pillar of support to ICA in all our endeavours in last 1 year. So thank you, Mr. Brown. I think he's not here. Okay. I also want to thank Charlottetown Police for supporting us in organizing this event. I want to thank the fire department, and I want to thank Mr. Umesh Gupta, the founder member of ICA, for gracing this occasion. And sir, we really appreciate you taking your time off today and enlightening us on what happened on 1947. In fact, my father was also a young boy at that time. And I also want to thank each and every one of you for coming here, showing your presence and supporting this event. I think we all share this happiness, and taking forward from here, let's enjoy a good Indian snack meal. And thank you once again, all of you. And we will see you in the next event. Right, Vicky? Yes. Thank you all.